Hey, it is Drew here with you, and thank you for shooting your questions to me at the blog, kswp.org/Drew. And so I'm going to answer some of those questions right now. The first one came in from Nyla. This is her question. I'll let you take a look at it. All right, so do I think that we're going to have some sort of World War III? Well, of course, that's a good question, Nyla. Thanks for asking me the tough stuff. I don't know about all that. I would say that things are probably going to go downhill from here. I don't see everything just magically getting better as far as wars and different stuff like that. But I say, hey, we always can look forward to Christ coming back, and after that, everything will be on the up and up. And, maybe some tough circumstances will help us as Christians kind of stand up and make some tough decisions and become spiritually stronger, even if we have to put up with some tough circumstances here. And for the part of the question about whether I could survive in those tough circumstances, well, seeing how most of my meals come from a restaurant or a fast food joint or a microwave, I got a feeling I'm going to have some tough times, trying to fend for myself, but I guess I'll just try to hang in there as long as I can. Alright, so this next question came from Sarah, and yeah, global warming is one of those things that is good question, bringing me the tough stuff. But it is a tough question because there's so many opinions on exactly what global warming is, how real it is, how much basically our pollution and all that kind of stuff has a part in our atmosphere. So no doubt it's a big, tough question, but I would say as far as third world countries go, they probably have the worst time of it all, because if there's any sort of pollution or climate change, they have the least amount of ability to cope and deal with it, because we can always turn on our air conditioner, we can plug in our electric fans and they can cool us off, whereas they don't have that over there. So I would say that third world countries, if there is any sort of pollution or global warming effects that affect our climate, then they are definitely going to feel the worst of it, because they don't have the ability to cope with it like we do. Alright, so the next question was from Debbie, and this one kind of made me smile a little bit, because I don't know if you listen on the afternoons on KSWP, I do this completely random, pointless trivia, and it's normally stuff that I think is kind of interesting, but not necessarily does anyone else think that's interesting at all. But she missed the answer to one because she had Vacation Bible School last week, and so she missed this one, so I'll share it with you right now. The question is this, I'm going to read it. It says that people did this in America twice a week in 1928 and only 5 times a year now. And if I remember correctly, the answer to that was going to the movies. Yeah, I used to go to the movies twice a week in 1928. Apparently, maybe they didn't have TV in their house or something. I don't know. So they went to the movies twice a week in the 28. But now we go 5 times a year. And I may go more than that. I'm not sure. I'm pretty big movie fanatic, so 5 times a year. But as expensive as it is, I probably should go about 5 times a year. That would probably help me not go bankrupt. Okay, so this last question is a toughie, and it's from Carolyn. And I think the word Christian, as far as I know, means Christ-like, and so it is a pretty strong statement to say that you are a Christian. I have some friends who go the route, they call themselves children of God. They say, I'm a child of God. Just in terminology alone, just trying to say, hey, look, I want to be like Christ, but I make mistakes, and I don't want to do anything that would take away from the glory of Christ. If I call myself a Christian and I'm Christ-like and then I make a mistake, how does that look for Christ? So in terminology alone, there's some differences on what you may call yourself. And you mentioned also about how should we be an example of Christ. And I think the best way we can do that is to first and foremost know what Christ did. So check out Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John and read about the life of Christ. See what decisions he made, and then we can try to model those choices. It really is an actions thing. You can say you believe all you want, anything you want to say that you believe, but really what makes the biggest impact is what your actions do. So read about Christ, read about what he does and how he responded to others. And I think you'll be pretty surprised about how Christ would do things. I think he calls us to speak the truth in love, and so I think you look and see what Christ did, he approached people that were kind of cast out in society. You know, they really looked down on the tax collectors. They looked down on, obviously, thieves, prostitutes, and these are the kind of people that Jesus went to and talked to, had conversation with. He didn't say, "Oh, don't talk to me. You're not worth my time." He went to those people and he told them the truth, and he told them about the love that he had for them and how he could change their life. So I think that's kind of how we should model ours. If anything, if the Bible has the answer, you got to go with that anytime. So that's how I would go with that one. So anyway, thank you for all the questions, and if you have something else that you'd like to ask that you didn't have answered this time, feel free to let me know on the blog, kswp.org/Drew. Thanks.